Yo guys, welcome back to another GeoGuessr video. We're doing 5 metas every pro should know Sundays once again. This is episode 8, and we're covering North America today. So on this episode, I got you guys with 2 Mexico metas, 1 US meta, 1 Canada meta that I researched myself personally, and 1 Panama meta as well. So let's start with the Mexican meta here. So we're going to start with the Aguas Calientes lamps. So this lamp, this yellow one, is found mostly within the state of Aguas Calientes. It is not exclusive. It is just very common in this state. Very common in this city, or the city of Aguas Calientes, of course. But you get this full yellow lamp post that goes all the way to the lamp top here. So full yellow, found throughout the city. And I did look in a couple of other cities. Could not really find too many in the northern part of Aguas Calientes or like this part as well. But these cities over here do have yellow lampposts as well, as you can see here. So this one is actually just, it appears to just be like the yellow extender part and not actually the post itself. So this could be interesting to look into in Ojo Caliente. And then we got one in Calvillo as well. A little bit less yellow here, but you can still see the vision. But generally, if you see a yellow lamppost like this, and, you know, with other landscape clues as well, urban like this, yeah, just does make sense to just click in the middle of Aguas Calientes. And we've got a bunch of lamp metas, actually, for Mexico. So we're going to move on to the Cuernavaca lamp, shown here. So this lamp is very different. It's just going to be this like black rectangular shape with like the lights being here. So you can see it throughout the city of Cuernavaca. Black rectangular shape with like this light bulb, more towards the right side, I guess, or whichever side is the end of the post. And yeah, this is pretty consistent. You can see 2 bulbs sometimes, or 2 rows of lights rather, but like just this rectangular shape, the black shape, is kind of what you're looking for. And here's another example here. And if you guys click around the city of Cuernavaca, you can pretty much see it pretty much everywhere. These are just 4 pretty clear examples that you will get this black lamppost everywhere. And this is usually coming off of like a utility pole on different kinds. So like this is the typical concrete Mexican pole, the octagonal one that you usually see. This is like more of a rusted metal pole, but you can find them on really all of these utility poles. And that's pretty much what you should be looking for in terms of lamps on the utility poles. All right. Next, we're going to move on to the Santiago de Querétaro lamp here. So this lamp is going to have the black strips on like both sides of it. So the front and back edges will both have black on it, and then the white middle section is kind of what you're looking for on this one. And then this one is also found on like utility poles, just like the Cuernavaca ones. But yeah, here's a couple good examples. You're looking for this black strip, both the front and back edges, and then the white part in the middle is going to be a Santiago de Querétaro lamp. So you can see it here. Probably a better view here. Yeah, kind of looks like a tape, like if you were to wrap black tape around both sides, and then this white part in the middle. And here's another example. But yeah, you're mainly looking for these, once again, on the utility poles. In Mexico, it won't have like its own lamppost usually. It'll just be on like attached to a utility pole like this. All right. And next we're going to go into Cancun lamps. So this one's kind of interesting. I think this one's probably the most like memorable of them. But yeah, this kind of looks like a dice if you were rolling a 5, basically on a die. Yeah, that's pretty much how do you explain it. Like the bulb looks like a 5 on a die face, essentially. Yeah, you get 2 here, but it does have that 5 dotted shape. Yeah, this is pretty much everywhere in Cancun. Here, you get the 5 like the lamp head itself is a little different. Like this shape is certainly different from the shape that we saw. Well, I guess it's kind of similar. But yeah, the main thing that you're looking for really is this die face with 5 dots on them. 5 pips, I believe they're called on the die, or something like that. But yeah, just the 5 dots is what you're looking for. And yeah, generally, I would use this like in a situation in which like you're trying to region guess Yucatan, because you can clearly tell this is Yucatan, very light pavement, like these style of buildings, and just the general like plants and stuff looks very, very, very tropical. And you kind of just get a vibe for Yucatan. Once you get that vibe, you can definitely check for the lamp, and you see it, you know to send Cancun. All right, couple more. So this is quite a long meta, but yeah, just figured I'd cover all the lamps that you can possibly get. All right, this is the Matamoros lamp, and yeah, so this is gonna be like a rectangular head with the ring shape. So it's like a rectangular shape, kind of similar to the ones that we saw in like Santiago de Querétaro and like Cuernavaca, but like it's gonna be gray like this, and then you can get like the ring shaped bulb essentially is what you're looking for. So like, yeah, you'll see the same lamp throughout the city. Ring shaped bulb there, and like the ring as well there. So like, this is quite useful. I mean, especially because urban Mexico can be quite hard to get a good vibe, because a lot of Mexico is going to be tropical. In a lot of cases, like especially like determining between this coast and this coast, some of the urban locations can look very, very similar. So this will definitely help you nail down, especially like if you recognize this could be Texas border, and like just the general Tamaulipas area. Definitely good to check the lamps, and you're looking for this ring bulb. All right, one more thing, Hermosillo lamp. So this is the last lamp that we're going to be going over, but essentially you're looking for this. I would say it's like an exaggerated Z shape, but like kind of a zigzag shape. In terms of the lamppost on the utility pole. So, yeah, you see this throughout Hermosillo. That one was on a wooden pole. This is on a concrete pole. And you'll see it very commonly in Gen 4. Like, mostly in Gen 4, you'll see this. But, I mean, most of the city of Hermosillo is covered in Gen 4 nowadays anyway. But this zigzag shape is what you're looking for. This one's pretty simple. Just a zigzag shape. So, I hope you guys enjoyed the Mexico lamp metas. Next, we're going to be covering the different pavement markers that you can get in the US. So, the rectangular raised pavement markers is something that we're going to go over first. So, like, these are pretty typical if you live in, like, any of these states, essentially, like the southern or western states. So you can get them California, Washington, Oregon, and then, like, Arizona, New Mexico, Texas, anything alongside the Gulf of Mexico. And then I believe, like, up to this South Carolina area, North Carolina area. So yeah, just these raised yellow rectangular things in terms of the pavement markers is what you're looking for. You can see them in pretty much any of the states that I just named. And that'll tell you that you're in either the south or the western part of the country, because you really won't get these raised pavement markers anywhere else. So definitely checking pavement markers is definitely something to look at if you want to region guess the US. It's obviously, to nail down the region, you will have to use like architecture clues and flora clues as well, for sure. But this can help you determine, like, hey, maybe I'm in like South Carolina compared to something like Kentucky or West Virginia or something like that. And another note is Massachusetts also has these. So like it did take me a while to find this location. Just because like a lot of Mass, I could not find it. Like I was clicking around Boston, Springfield area and all that, Marlborough, but I couldn't find anything. And I eventually went all the way out here in Cheshire, and yeah, we were able to find one. So, good example. But yeah, Massachusetts is the one exception that I was able to see on the Plunkett guide. And yeah, southern or western states plus Massachusetts. And then we will move into the other type of raised pavement markers that are on the Plunkett guide for the US. So these are the snow plowable ones. I mean, generally, obviously makes sense, right? Like these states will get generally a lot of snow. It goes from like Pennsylvania to Illinois, all the way down to this Tennessee, North Carolina area. So like this box shape right here. These, how many states is this? Like 9 states, I would say, all use this, including New Jersey as well. So that's 10. But you'll see like these are kind of different. It kind of makes an 8 shape. So if I were to look, so we got like this black, and then the yellow in the middle is making the 8 shape. But it's like raisable, but like snow plows can go over it and stuff. But yeah, you can see this in this area as well. Same, that 8 shape. Not always going to be a yellow thing in the middle, but like the black stuff does make an 8 shape here. So that's kind of how you distinguish it. Here's another good one. This one's white on the outer rim. But yeah, just making that 8 shape once again. Here's an example in Kentucky with that 8 shape. And then even all the way out here in Illinois. That's going to have that 8 shape as well. A little bit different looking, but essentially the same pavement marker. So if you do see these, you would want to send like somewhere in Appalachia, or like in these like Midwestern states, Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, or even New Jersey can have them as well. So yeah, just this general area of the country. Obviously, you want to use these clues in conjunction with like landscape, architecture, as I mentioned previously. You don't just want to like blindly trust the markers, but these marker rules should be generally consistent for the US. So these are good to follow. All right, so the next meta here is something that I kind of researched after getting a suggestion from JHK. Shout out JHK, by the way. I was told about the Cape Breton Smudge, but I didn't know exactly where it was, so I did some clicking around. In the new Gen 4 car, it can really be seen, like, mostly on the 30, I would say. I clicked around a bit in here, didn't really see it. Obviously, the smudge is not going to be exclusive to this one part in Canada, but typically in Nova Scotia, when you do get, like, these double yellow lines, which are very common in Nova Scotia, by the way. Most of Canada will usually use, like, single lines or, like, a single with a dashed. Sask can have these double lines as well. But yeah, obviously Sask looks completely different from Nova Scotia. And yeah, if you see a smudge like this, generally going to be on the front side of the car. So whichever side you're driving, it's going to be on the front. So let's just move through it here. Yeah, as you click around the 30, it essentially makes a big ring here. And it gets really pronounced, like, up here. So we can click through it real quick. But, like, this is an insane amount of smudging on the car and on Cape Breton Island. Like, this one, I can barely see anything. But we do have that double yellow line that's consistent throughout the 30. This one turns into a little bit of a dash situation, but, like, with the landscape and the blur, it's really good for the 30, I would say. This one is a little bit more foggy. Like, you can't really see the smudge as much, but, like, it is still there. Like, the front of the cam is very foggy. Kind of similar to, like, an Amapa blur situation. Like, you know it's there, but it's not, like, completely covering off one side of the cam, like this one is. But yeah, this one's a little blurry, once again. And it continues, like, throughout. You can see the little bit of fog there. And yeah, just fog in general. And you're always going to be driving essentially, like, west and then north here. And then this one, you know, you can see it on this as well, driving north. So, yeah, I would just encourage you to click around Cape Breton Island and around the 30, because you can see these blurs pretty much everywhere on this 30 road, essentially, in most places. Yeah, but I'll be leaving these locations, obviously, in the JSON. And feel free to explore yourself and leave me a comment as well if you find any other discoveries in Cape Breton Island. But I think this is pretty valuable, especially because Nova Scotia, deceptively long, I would say. Like, most people would just click middle if you were, like, 100% sure it's Nova Scotia, especially with the double yellows. But yeah, the blur is really helpful for guessing this part because there is potential for some big points there. All right, we're heading back to Mexico for this one. So this 95D road, which we can see as I zoom in here, 95D. So there's a 95 and a 95D. So the 95D runs from Acapulco all the way to Mexico City. So the main thing that we're looking at here is this entire 95D road will have these concrete blocks in the middle of the road with these yellow tops and bottoms. So this is kind of what you're looking for. You can kind of see what I'm saying. Like, this divider is, like, throughout the entire length of the road. which is pretty cool. Because if you see this, you can kind of just line up the road. Obviously, the landscapes vary drastically, right? But these concrete blocks stay the same. So this is great. Very easy for you to line up the road if you ever get a highway location like this. I wouldn't say very easy because, you do a lot of twists and turns, but you can kind of make an assumption based on how dry it looks, like up in here as you get closer to Cuernavaca, or like, this is a bit more like green, tropical looking. But yeah, you do get like this yellow top and bottom with the concrete blocks. And it does go all the way, actually, into Cuernavaca, as you can see here. This is driving right through the middle of the city. And it even extends all the way up here. So, like, as you can see, you're getting more pines. Like, this is typical, like, Mexico City, like, adjacent landscape, because it is quite high altitude here. But yeah, a lot of pines. And it does end pretty abruptly once you reach about this point here on the 95D, because that's when it turns into an actual, like, highway going through, like, the biggest city in Mexico, essentially. But yeah, you will see this throughout the entire highway. So very valuable information, because you know exactly where to guess the highway, and you can surprise your opponent with a really nice guess on the 95D. All right, the last meta that we're going to be covering is the Panama Eastern Road Dirt Cluster. So I'm just going to click on a random location here. But as you can see, like, most of it driving like east of Panama City is blurred. But you will get places in which, like, it will be exposed. And you can see this dirt cluster here. So, like, this one right, I guess, in the left middle of the car, that's going to indicate that you are on the eastern road, the one going down to the Darien Gap. Obviously, it doesn't reach all the way to the Darien Gap, but, like, you can see it pretty consistently throughout this entire stretch, because they drove this pretty much in the same day with the same car. So, yeah, just that smudge there. This is a pretty simple one, I would say, but definitely very helpful, I think, because, here it's a little bit worn off, but you can still see that the dirt is there. Like, it's very helpful because most people will either just click Panama City, outside Santiago, or David. Just, like, if you think it's David, you can click there. But most people, I feel like, don't know how to region guess Panama because it's such limited coverage. They'll just click, like, in the Santiago area. But this one road, very line-upable, I would say. Line-upable. Anyway, but with this dirt smudge, like, you'll know that you're here. So this is very valuable, I would say. All right, guys, thank you guys for watching 5 metas every pro should know. Episode 8. If you guys are enjoying the series, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Love seeing nice comments on the videos, and we're trying to get that sub count up, of course, so I would appreciate it if you guys subbed. Putting out a video every day since, I would say, early May, or something like that. Somebody fact check me on that, but yeah. Anyway, daily videos. This goes out every Sunday. We're covering 5 different metas that every pro should know, of course, and hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.